Dear brothers and sisters, um, when we suffer, we tend to say, why me, Lord? Why me? Why do we suffer? Um, Yesterday, we saw David, if you remember Absalom, his son, died in war against his father, against David. So, an enemy had died, but that enemy was his son. So David said, I wish I had died in your place. And so what yesterday we saw is how we can suffer in solidarity. David wanted to die himself rather than seeing his son, who was also his enemy, dying. And this is a sign of how sometimes our suffering can be a suffering in solidarity with those we love or with those who don't love us. We are innocent. In this case, David was innocent. Absalom was guilty, but David wanted to suffer for him in his place. Sometimes suffering has that characteristic. It is not that we suffer for our own sins, but like Jesus, we can help for the redemption of other people thanks to our suffering. That's one aspect. Today, again, David says something similar. David sees that because of his own sin, God is punishing his people. And when he sees all the people dying because of the pestilence that God sent, David says, I should have died, not they. They didn't do anything. I am guilty. But they are the ones who suffer. So it is very interesting because this is something we have to remember when we suffer. Sometimes we get ill or sick or something, and we are not guilty of getting sick. But we forget that in the past, we may have committed sins for which we did not suffer, and we made other people suffer with those sins. Think about something non-important perhaps, but all the disobediences when we were children. We didn't suffer them. We didn't suffer the consequences. We were just fine. But our parents suffered for that. Or imagine other times in which we may have done things for which we didn't pay, and other people suffer because of what we did. Whenever we have an opportunity to suffer, whenever we have to carry a cross, we have to remember that. Maybe now we can suffer for those people we hurt. Maybe now we can help them because maybe they were scandalized for what we did. And now with our suffering, we can make up for us and for them. So, as we were saying also yesterday, we don't know why we suffer. Many times we will only know the reason in heaven. But the fact that we don't know the reason doesn't mean that there is no reason. We don't know the reason, but God does. Is it because we are sinners? Is it because we are not sinners? We don't know. But what we know is that there is a reason and that we have to carry our cross. And by doing that, we help Jesus himself to redeem the world. As St. Paul said, I complete in my flesh what is lacking to the sufferings of Jesus on the cross for his body which is the church. So may God help us all to suffer in the right way, to offer up our sufferings to God so that we may help our brothers and sisters who need our suffering.